We're going to continue with the Prelude for tonight. You'll be hearing Christmas Time is Here, performed by Carolyn McCreary and Mike McKendry. Fun fact, this song was written in 1965 for the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And it was actually composed like as a soundtrack. And I saw that this Christmas special is one of the first ones ever produced for television. Can you say hello?
Hi.
So here is our Prelude.
Audio only.
Call to Worship. So for the Children Come by Sophia, Lyon, Fahs. For so the children come, and so they have been coming. Always in the same way they come. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet, each night a child is born is a holy night. Parents sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end? For each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
Now I will light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. After that, I will continue and light our Advent wreath. I will light again the candles for hope, peace, joy, and love. And tonight I will add to that the center candle, the large white candle in the center of the wreath. May the light from our Advent wreath show us the way forward to better days. May the light of our Advent wreath remind us of the power of waiting with hope, peace, joy, and love as our guides. Welcome. Welcome to the virtual Christmas Eve candlelight service of First Church Unitarian here in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Lara Hoke, and I'm so happy and lucky to be the minister of this wonderful congregation. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. A few thank yous to start us off. Special thanks to those who helped make tonight possible and pull this together. There were many. To name some of them, I want to thank tonight's performers and readers. Thank you to music director Malley Lozeau and the church choir. Thank you to Carolyn McCreary and the Artemis singers. Thank you to our religious education teachers and the kids, some of the kids who participated, and some of our youth who participated tonight as well. It's a special treat. Thank you to Mike Pillman for doing our tech. And again, thank you all for being here. It is good to be together on this night. So we are, as you see, on Zoom, a little different from our usual Sunday worship services. The reason we're on Zoom primarily is, in fact, to see each other, to have a little extra feeling of community at this time. So I ask that you stay muted, but if you're willing, and I know not everyone likes it, but if you're willing to keep your video on.
And you might want to have it in gallery view so you can see all of the faces.
Right, if you keep it in gallery view, you'll see all the faces. If somebody is speaking in particular, you might temporarily select speaker mode if you want to see them bigger. That's up to you. So you have that option. Have a candle ready and a way to light it. At the end of the service, we will be singing Silent Night, and that is the traditional candlelit part. So be ready for that. We will be singing a few hymns together, again, muted, but you'll hear the sound, and you're welcome to sing along at home. Mike will put the lyrics in the chat, so you'll see that. I do ask that during the service, you don't do a chat to everyone. If you wish to chat to a particular individual and you know how to do that, you can, but I ask that you not chat to everybody. And after the postlude tonight, Mike is going to be hosting a special social gathering. There's absolutely no obligation to participate, but it's a wonderful opportunity for any of you who don't have other Christmas Eve plans. If you want a little social time together, that will be happening.
And it will be right here.
And I'm sorry, yes, it will stay right here on this Zoom. So you don't have to go anywhere. It'll be right here. All right. So I think that's all I had to say to get us started. And we're going to begin with some special greetings from some of our religious education teachers and some of our religious education students.
What brings you joy on Christmas? Lainey,
Candy canes.
Julia,
Family.
Sierra,
Family.
Fergus,
Happiness.
Maddie,
Snow.
Riley,
Christmas tree.
Natalie,
Being together and snuggling.
Debbie,
Singing.
Karen,
Spirit of giving.
RE gatherings,
And speaking of joy, our first hymn is going to be Joy to the World. Thank you, choir. And now we have the treat tonight. The Nativity story will be told by some of our youth, starting now with V.O. Malley.
More than 2,000 years ago in the Roman Empire, in a part of Israel which is called Judea, there lived a young woman named Mary who planned to wed a man named Joseph. God sent the angel Gabriel to this young woman who lived in the northern town of Nazareth. The angel Gabriel said to Mary, "Peace be with you, God has blessed you and is pleased with you." Mary was afraid, but she trusted the angel. "Do not be afraid. God has been very kind to you. You will give birth to a baby boy and you will call him Jesus. He will be God's own son." "Let it happen as God chooses," she replied to the angel.
Next, we have an anthem by the Artemis Singers.
If everyone knew their inborn goodness, if everyone truly knew their worth, if everyone knew the same light that shines in them. If everyone saw the way God sees us, we'd be like stars of Bethlehem. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Every humble heart is the temple where God dwells. How could we not love our neighbor? How could we not love ourselves? And so this Christmas, let it be born in us underneath our own bright star. May we open our most precious gift, the radiance that we are. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. If everyone knew their inborn goodness, if everyone truly knew their worth, if everyone knew their own magnificence, surely there would be peace. I know there would be peace on earth.
Thank you, Artemis singers. And now the Nativity story continues as told by Theo and Max Baern.
Joseph was worried when he found out Mary was expecting a baby and wondered if they should put off the marriage. Then an angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "You shall take Mary as your wife. She has been chosen to be the mother of Jesus, who shall save his people." When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel had told him to do and took Mary as his wife. At this time, the Roman Emperor Augustus appeared with a proclamation. "We must have a list of all the people who are in the empire, so we can make sure all have paid their taxes. Everyone must return to the town where they originally came from and enter their names on the list."
Mary and Joseph traveled a long way from Nazareth to Bethlehem, because that is where Joseph's family came from. They traveled very slowly because Mary's baby was due to be born soon. When they reached Bethlehem, they found a place to stay. So many people had come to register their names in the census that every house was full and every bed was taken in all of the inns. The only shelter they could find was a stable with the animals. In the hills and fields outside Bethlehem, shepherds looked after their sheep through the long night, as they did every night. As the new day began, suddenly an angel appeared before them, and the glory of God shone around them. The shepherds were very, very scared, but the angel said, "Don't be afraid. I have good news for you and everyone. Today in Bethlehem, a Savior has been born for you. You will find the baby lying in a manger."
Thank you. And now it's time for our next hymn, which is the first Noel.
shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star shining in the east beyond them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. And by the light of that same star, three magi came from country far to seek for a king was their intent, and to follow the star wherever it went. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
It is the tradition of this congregation to take special offerings once each month. We also have the tradition of collecting a special offering every Christmas Eve. Tonight's offering will go to Loaves and Fishes. Loaves and Fishes is a local organization whose mission is to provide nutritious food to people in need. It is committed to operating with kindness and respect for all. FCU has long given contributions to this wonderful charity. May our generosity continue tonight. To make a donation online, go to www.loavesfishespantry.org and click the yellow donate button. Or you can mail a donation to Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry, P.O. Box 1, Air, Massachusetts, 01432. This information is also in the order of service that you received in your email. When I was a little girl, my family had to make use of our local food pantry. It helped my parents when we were struggling, and I remember them feeling blessed to have it. Please give generously. Thank you. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation.
The music you're hearing for the offering today is called Star of Wonder by Terre, Roche. And we're very lucky to have three wonderful singers singing it for you. We'll hear Sarah Weeks, Lynn Courtney, and Emily Welch in this recording.
Star of wonder in the heavens, wonder what you want of me. Should I follow you tonight? Star of wonder, star of wonder, I am just a lonely shepherd, watching from a distant hill. Why do you appear to me? Star of Star of wonder, star of wonder, shining bright.
We are grateful for the opportunity to share our gifts. May they bring an added measure of joy in this holiday season. Thank you for that lovely music. The Nativity story continues now with Ellie Sweetser and Julian Pointer.
When the angels had gone, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see what has happened." So the shepherds went to Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph. Then more angels appeared, lighting up the sky, praising God, saying, "Glory to the Lord in the highest, and peace to everyone on earth." In this poor place Mary gave birth to Jesus, Son of God, and wrapped in swaddling, which were warm, snugly clothed. Jesus' bed was a manger that held the animals' hay.
When Jesus was born, a blazing new star appeared in the sky and shone on the stable where all was quiet and peaceful. And there was love. 3 magi from faraway countries guessed what it meant. They were very clever people who had studied the stars and had read in very old writings that a new star would appear when a great king was born. They set out to find the new king and bring him gifts. They followed the star and asked people along the way, "Do you know where to find the child who is born to be king of the Jews?" When they finally reached Bethlehem, the star seemed to stop and shine directly down upon the place where Jesus was. When they entered the stable, where they found Jesus with Mary, they spread their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh before Jesus, then bowed down and worshipped him. Here ends the Christmas story, but the mystery continues.
We're next hearing an anthem performed by the church choir. The words are Dona nobis pacem, which means grant us peace. We have sung this in church together before, and I welcome you to sing along or just listen to this. This is the church choir.
Dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem, dona nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis 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 pacem.
Thank you. That was lovely. Tonight's reading is a poem entitled Christmas 1974 by May Sarton. In the year of the darkness, in the year of the words, the millions of words, accusing, excusing, breaking, demanding, lying, refusing. There have been so many deaths, but no one funeral, no way to mark the place. Set terror at rest, say fini. No time for mourning, no healing zone. In the year of the failure, the drying up of waters, we have been stricken. One by one, as though by plague, each struggles to survive, alone, longing. What have we done? Must we go to Bethlehem, make the hard journey again, dying of thirst as we are? Must it all be done again from the beginning after 2,000 years? Yes, sick at heart, plagued, lost as we are. Let us make the hard journey. Who can be sure? But perhaps if we go there, it will happen again. It will happen to us. An infant will be born again out of blood and on filthy straw. How naked, how vulnerable, how desperately in need this breath between past and future. The infant hope. Yes, let us make the journey. Perhaps it will happen again. Here ends the reading. Dona nobis pacem. Grant us peace. And so we find ourselves in this very strange time and place. Who could have anticipated at last year's Christmas Eve gathering in this lovely sanctuary that was packed with people that I, 1 year later to the day, would be standing here absolutely alone, and we would be worshiping together, but online. A year ago tonight, some of us would have said that Zoom was an old television program on PBS. But here we are, Christmas 2020, and now we know. 2020 has been a rough year, to say the obvious. A year of sickness and even death. A year of grieving for those we have lost and for what we have lost in our daily lives too. This has been a year for many of loneliness. Perhaps for some, it has been a year of boredom. 2020 has been a year for some of living in cramped quarters, perhaps sometimes with challenging relationships to negotiate in those quarters. Best case scenario, you have been living in close quarters with just the right people in just the right amount of space. But even in that best case scenario, I'm sure there have been moments of bickering from too much togetherness, and moments of missing all the loved ones that are outside of your immediate bubble, and so much more. Yes, 2020 is almost over, and I am sure that in a week, we will all together say good riddance to this year. And yet, even in this most challenging year, there have been moments of joy, and there have been unexpected silver linings brought about by this strange time and the strange ways that we have had to adopt. In the poem you just heard, Christmas 1974, May Sarton was, of course, writing in the context of the seemingly never-ending American war in Vietnam. Tonight, perhaps we can take some hope from the fact that that war did end just months later in early 1975. Tonight, with our context of COVID-19 and this pandemic, we have hope that maybe, just maybe, the worst of this nightmare might be over soon. We have with us, moving ahead into 2021, the infant hope. We have hope in the form of vaccines that some very bright scientists, perhaps our modern magi, have developed. We have gratitude for our modern shepherds, the frontline workers, from healthcare professionals to essential workers that continued to keep us fed and clothed and housed and more. And we give thanks tonight to the modern magi and the modern shepherds, as well as to the better angels of our nature, the angels that told us to be patient and wear our masks and keep our safer social distances, all while doing what we could to stay connected and loving toward each other and strangers too. Yes, we have, in the words of May Sarton, been plagued and lost this year, but together we are giving a miraculous birth to the infant hope, the breath between past and future. As Christian mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, we are all meant to be mothers of God, for God is always needing to be born. And this infant divine hope, which we are birthing together, like any baby, will be vulnerable for a while. It will need us to be caretakers. As with any baby, we do not yet know what challenges or wonders lie ahead, but it feels like a new chance, a new opportunity to get things a little more right, so that maybe together we can get to a new normal that is, at least in some ways, better than the old one was. May we do all that we can to nurture the infant divine hope, to keep hope alive and to give birth to a better future. May we carry on with patience and kindness and care for ourselves and for others, creating peace, joy, and love. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. In a moment, we will be singing our closing hymn together, Silent Night. And it is our tradition in the sanctuary, we dim the lights and pass around the flame as we hold our candles. So I hope some of you, maybe many or even most of you, are prepared with a candle and ready to light it, as I will light mine here. And dim your lights if you're comfortable, and turn on your video if you have it off, if you're willing, so that we can see each other's candles for this last hymn. And I'm going to give you a few moments, and when I come back with my candle, we can begin with Silent Night.
That light off over here. She asked her this one.
Child,
Our closing words from the Reverend Howard Thurman. The work of Christmas. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among siblings, and to make music in the heart. Blessed be, Amen, and Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas. Let's enjoy our postlude. Yay, you ukes.